contribution to classical music. From classic composers such as Enrique Granados to contemporary conductors such as Gustavo Dudamel, the Hispanic heritage in classical music is extensive, and you can hear it in English and in Spanish each time on Concierto.
Every Wednesday night at 8 on KSJE Farmington.
I'm John Lienhard with The Engines of Our Ingenuity. Every day we talk about human invention and creativity in science, technology, and the arts. We talk about all the drama and intrigue, insight and personal conviction that constantly bubble just below the surface of a world built by human hands. We honor complexity at the same time we keep things understandable. Do join me. We'll have a lot of fun together.
Weekdays at 5:45 on KSJE.
Hello again. There's nothing like a live concert to bring out the best in musicians, largely because they know there's an audience a few feet away taking in every note and expressing their approval. We'll hear from Goodman, Ellington, Kenton, and several others as they perform on stage. Tune in, go swinging down the lane. Here's David Miller.
Saturdays at 7 on KSJE Farmington. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, your community hospital with a rich heritage that dates back to before New Mexico was a state. We've been improving the health of the Four Corners since 1910. As a nonprofit hospital, San Juan Regional Medical Center is a values-driven organization. We strive to deliver on our mission to personalize health care and create vitality and enthusiasm in healing. We are here for you when you need us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services. .11 past 8 o'clock. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Nicklin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM, the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners, broadcasting 24 hours a day from our studios here at San Juan College. Special good morning to our viewers who are watching us live from our visual radio studio on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. Welcome aboard, everybody. It's great to have you along with us as well. Coming up today in just a few moments, my guests from San Juan County will be talking a little bit about the proposal to bring more movies filmed in New Mexico to San Juan County, and that would involve building a movie studio right here in the county. It is a proposal being put forward by the San Juan County Commission. Commission Chairman Jack Fourtner will be one of my guests this morning, and some other filmmakers from the region will be talking about this idea coming up this morning in just a few more moments here on KSJE. Later on this morning, we'll be checking in on the economy. My guest from Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation, Jason Kelcoat, is here. He's been looking at and studying how the federal government shutdown may be affecting some of the markets, some of the data that is used for investing. We'll talk more about that this morning at 8:55 right here on KSJE. At 9 a.m., Mick Hess is Roving with the Arts on the radio. He will be playing more Bach cantatas during Roving with the Arts today, as well as sharing some great arts news and more. That's coming up at 9. And don't forget about our movie review program, A Review Too Far, today at noon. It is the finale of the program before it goes on hiatus, and today host Nick Michael is taking a look back at some of the best and worst movies that have been reviewed on the program during its duration here on KSJE for the past 8 years, from 2011 to 2019. That's A Review Too Far, coming up today at noon here on KSJE. One final note, we want to let you know about the second chance to get tickets to see Chevelle Shepherd in concert at the Farmington Civic Center on January 26th. That concert is free, but the tickets that were made available sold out within minutes when they went on, became available earlier this week. We have a few, and so we're giving you a chance, a second chance to get your hands on some tickets. All you have to do is enter through our website, and the address is on the screen, but for those radio listeners, you can go to ksje.com/Chevelle and sign up. It is free to sign up. The tickets are free, of course. The concert is free, but it is sold out. And so this is the only way to get seats at the sold-out Chevelle Shepherd Giving Back concert in Farmington on January 26th. You can go online and register for a chance to win 2 tickets between now and next Wednesday. And that is the address, ksje.com/Chevelle. Of course, you can always check our website for more information on what's going on here at KSJE, and that's also where you'll find our regional events calendar, ksje.com. We'll take a quick look at some of the things that are coming up in the community this week and this month. Matter of Balance classes happening at San Juan Regional Medical Center. That is happening, of course, later on today. Martin Luther King Week events happening here at San Juan College all next week in commemoration of Dr. Martin Luther King Day on Monday. And, of course, the MLK Day of Service happening on Monday, January 21st. The home base for that is at First Presbyterian Church in Farmington, but there are many projects taking place. You can find out all the details and how to sign up. It's a free event, but you just need to kind of sign up for the event that you'd like to help with during the Day of Service next Monday. You can find out all the details by going to our website, of course, at ksje.com. Morning, everybody, and a special good morning to our viewers who are watching us this morning on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. Our topic this morning is the motion picture industry and this idea to try to get a movie studio built in San Juan County. And so I am joined in the KSJE studios by several people who are trying to make that happen. First and foremost, San Juan County Commissioner Jack Fourtner is here. Commissioner Fourtner, good morning.
Good morning, Scott. It's good to be here.
Thanks for being here. You bet. Filmmaker Bren Garcia is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Scott. Thanks for having us.
You bet. Thanks for coming in. And also, Suzanne Fourtner Cervantes is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here as well, everybody. Good to see you all. And Commissioner Fourtner, let me start with you a little bit about this idea of getting money from the state, which is what we're talking about, to build some type of film production studio here, right?
That's correct. You know, the state budget this year is going to have a surplus, and there will be some requests for capital outlay, and each one of our legislators, both our senators and our state representatives, get a piece of the pie, so to speak. And both Senator Scherer and Senator Neville had asked that the county present something that really is geared towards economic development. And because we present a number of requests, sometimes bridge, sometimes roads, sometimes walking trails, sometimes something directly towards tourism. And the thing that came to mind to me was the conversations that I've had with 2-for-1 for Productions, and that, of course, Bren Garcia and Suzanne Fourtner Cervantes, because they've been talking about a studio for a couple years here. And actually, the question was not do we need it, but how could we use it? How could we use it for local shoots, to bring in more shoots from out of town? Now with Netflix, we think that this is the opportune time, and I told the senators this is exactly what you want. And so we've requested $1 million, and we think that both the senators and possibly State Representative Rod Montoya, State Representative Paul Bandy, they'll pull some money together so that we can be funded to the tune of, we think, about $1 million.
Okay. And that was going to be my next question, is how much money are we talking about here? But $1 million, and that would provide for what type of a space, Bren Garcia? Is that sufficient, I guess? It sounds like a lot of money, but I know in the movie industry sometimes $1 million doesn't go as far as it used to.
Yeah, sometimes that can get spent in a day.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, you know, I think for what we're wanting, and I think what we need, you know, the bigger studios like in Atlanta or Albuquerque, they spend, I mean, tens of millions of dollars on facilities. But really what makes Farmington and San Juan County in general and the Four Corners region unique is our landscapes. I think that's really what's going to draw outside filmmakers to come in. We have a really talented group of artists and filmmakers here that want to film here. But, you know, that's why a lot of shoots go to Albuquerque. They want the mountains. They want the landscapes, the desert landscapes, and with the Badlands and the rivers and being so close to Durango and all of these other really cool natural features, we don't need a huge over-the-top production facility, because they can go to Albuquerque or Santa Fe to do that.
Right.
What we really need is the infrastructure set up so that if a production comes in and needs to rent space or have a studio space or have enough to build something or land where they can go, you know, build a western town or whatever, a set or something of that nature, and we have tons of space for that. So really, I think the goal is to set it up, make it as easy as possible for shoots to come up here and have a dedicated hub to do that. Not only for outside productions, but for local training, working with Luke Renner at the Digital Media Arts Department.
Here at San Juan College, right?
Here at San Juan College.
Right.
Also working, we're talking really closely, we're working really closely with Johnny Curry, who does
FHS Live at Farmington High School, right?
And so we really want to bring the community together and really start doing some industry training so that some of these students can have portfolio pieces, internship opportunities, as well as bring in economic growth with, you know, I mean, Las Cruces reported recently that when they shot The Mule, in about a week, the production spent $1.2 million in the local economy. So, so we really want to be able to use the space to drive some business and to be able to get the community involved. Gotcha,
Jack Fourtner, and then I know when you're talking about using state money or county money, public money for any type of project, you kind of have to watch that rate of return, I suppose, or make sure it's a good investment, right?
Well, that's one of the things that that Brent said that's important is this is really a community asset, and it's not to be used for any one group.
Wouldn't be owned by one production company or one studio or one anything, one movie maker, right?
It'll be a county asset that's available for really for when the high schools, the colleges, and students want to use it. That's at no cost. And and also what Brent said that's important to note is if it was just a film studio we were building, that wouldn't be too attractive. But it's the film studio and the fact of our scenic beauty that is so attractive to those that want to shoot films. You know, we can go from what appears to be a desert to the mountains, all within 45 minutes. And I know, you know,
you go south, you're at another planet. So, you know, yeah, there's lots of opportunities. I agree.
And so we think that the combination of what's been done here with the 2-for-1 for productions, you know, in fact, a year ago at this time they were shooting a movie here, and they've been continually involved. And I think the timing is right. You know, the county really is tasked with watching out for the citizens of San Juan County as far as promoting economic development. You know, we're going to be, you know, the legislature is going to be looking at ways to help us, and this is one of the ways that our senators have stepped forward and said, hey, let's work together and collaborate.
Well, we hear a lot of talk about diversifying the economy here in San Juan County, maybe away from some of the industries that have been so strong for so very long, and as things kind of shift and move and the ups and downs, filmmaking seem, I mean, everyone's still going to the movies.
Right.
As far as I can tell, right?
Right, and they're going to keep going.
And the kids tell me video is the new thing as we sit in a radio studio with video cameras, so apparently there's something to that.
Scott, who'd ever thought that when you're doing a radio show, it's also going to be filmed, and be on Facebook and and then shared and seen, you know, a number of times. And so, you know, that's where the market's heading. We think we're really going to be ahead, really ahead of other communities by doing this.
Okay. Very good. Suzanne Fourtner Cervantes, let me bring you into the conversation a little bit, too, to talk a little bit about this opportunity, right? And there's a lot of folks, I imagine, who are looking at San Juan County as a place to maybe shoot their film, but if they've got to fly everybody in and then fly everybody out, I guess that can add to their cost, can it?
Yeah, so you're saying just it's more difficult to get here,
right?
I'm assuming is what you're presenting. Well,
yeah. Well, to fly everybody in from L.A. or something and then fly them back out, or even trucking up here from Albuquerque would be an expense.
You know, and I mean, yes, but so I lived in Albuquerque, and I'm an attorney, and I've been in the industry just practicing law. And so what I've seen just from knowing actors, directors, producers is people in this industry want to be a part of this industry, and people fly in from LA all the time to Albuquerque. Actors, ask anyone, even for being extras in films, they'll drive to Santa Fe, they'll drive to Las Cruces, they'll drive to Roswell. There is no limit to what people in this industry want to, what they will do.
I see, right.
To work. And so I think that'd be great for San Juan County, because then it helps out our hotels, car rentals.
Restaurants. I know movie people like to eat, like radio people. We all like to eat,
Yeah.
so that's true. Very good. Jack?
One of the things that's important, too, in this request is we're also going to outfit it with equipment. And I'd like one of the other two folks here to talk about that advantage of having the equipment available also.
Sure. Brent or Suzanne, describe it for me a little bit of what we're talking about, in case folks aren't aware. Are we talking like a sound stage and then some other editing suites, or help us understand what we're talking about?
So what we're kind of looking at is bringing in, with the space, having editing space available, things like that they'd have access to, that they wouldn't necessarily have to bring in if they chose not to, especially for lower budget productions. Anything under about $100,000 for total production is considered micro budget. Anything under about $1 million is still considered fairly low budget, right? So, you have $1 million production that comes into town, they would have the opportunity to rent some of the equipment that's there, some of the office space that's there. But we're also talking about bringing in a full camera kit, like a full professional cinema level camera kit, lenses, lighting kits, grip equipment, things like that we would be able to offer at a much more competitive price than, say, renting it in Albuquerque or renting it. Suzanne and I worked on the BB Rexa Florida Georgia line Meant to Be music video, and that entire crew, about half the crew was local, half the crew was from out of state or out of country. But they brought in $250,000 worth of camera equipment from LA because it was cheaper to fly it in from LA and fly it back than it was to rent it locally. And so we want to be able to offer filmmakers or producers an option. They can bring in whatever they want, but if they want to have access to some equipment and save some money, we want to be able to do that as one more layer of incentive to come here. And like you mentioned, right, it's not as cost effective to fly into Albuquerque and drive up here as it is just to fly into Albuquerque and shoot. So we want to have one more level of incentive where they're like, okay, the landscapes are cool, there's space for us to work, and we can save a little bit of money by renting equipment there. I would like to go shoot in Farmington, right? Or San Juan County or the surrounding areas. So we really want to make it as easy and friendly as possible.
Sure. And as filmmakers yourselves, you know the types of different landscapes that we have here, and you put them in some of your films. And I know it seems like I've seen every square inch of Albuquerque from Breaking Bad. So are they about done? Are they overexposed yet, or what?
I think Albuquerque's still got a ton of really interesting, especially interior locations. I think with the expansion of Netflix Studio, I think that's going to be huge. But think about some of the older films where everybody was shooting on Universal Studios backlots, right? Like they have one street of New York that's been used in everything.
Lots of things,
but depending on how you dress it or what the period piece is or who the actors are or how it's shot, those things can look so dramatically different just by artistic choice. And so I think Albuquerque's got a ton to offer, and so does Las Cruces. I think they've got a ton to offer, and even here, right? Like we've got a lot of really interesting interior locations. We've got beautiful, unique homes in the area, as well as the exterior locations that could be used for multiple purposes.
Sure. Well, and when you think of some of the outdoor locations, even downtown, when we saw The Reach that was filmed in Farmington not too long ago, a lot of scenes in downtown Farmington, a lot of stores were transformed into other buildings or things like that. Downtown Aztec certainly has a unique look to it that's completely different from Farmington. So there's lots of opportunities.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Very good. Jack Fourtner?
Scott, one of the things also that's a bill is going to be introduced in this year's legislature is an additional 5% incentive for films that are shot outside of the Santa Fe area and outside of the Albuquerque area. This is exactly what we're looking for. It's an incentive that our senators aren't even have to introduce, but they're going to support very strongly.
Right. That would help here too then.
That's
right?
exactly
Sure.
right, and it's geared towards locations like San Juan County and Farmington.
Right. Now, I know sometimes in Santa Fe, and I don't expect you all to predict the future, but sometimes the film incentives comes under a bit of scrutiny. But in years like this one, when we have a bit more money than we usually have, should that go through okay or be renewed, you think?
Well, this governor in her inauguration speech actually said she was considering taking the $50 million cap off and maybe not even having a cap. And so that would be interesting, both as to the budget for the state, but also really incentivizing the film industry to continue to grow.
Right. So
So,
we'll see what happens.
yeah.
Okay. Very good. My guest this morning, we're talking about the idea of a film studio in San Juan County. And we're going to take a short break, everyone. When we come back, more with my guests here in just a moment. This is KSJE.
Spying on your neighbors maybe isn't all